Okay, so we're diving deep today into this article claiming AGI will, like, kickstart a whole new renaissance.
Wow.
It's a Korean piece. It features Eric Schmidt.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you know that Eric Schmidt, former Google CEO? So,
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting.
It's a bold claim.
Yeah.
Schmidt seems really convinced that AGI, artificial general intelligence, is going to be this huge driving force for advancement for humans, like the Renaissance we all learned about back in school.
But hold on, before we even get into the whole Renaissance idea,
Right.
how are we even defining AGI these days?
Yeah.
It seems like everyone's got their own idea of what it actually means.
It's true. AGI is kind of a moving target.
Right.
It's not just AI systems mimicking humans anymore. We're talking about AI that can actually understand and learn, tackle any intellectual task that a human can.
Yeah.
Demis Hassabis, the CEO over at Google DeepMind, he puts it this way. Imagine AI that could come up with a theory of relativity, just like Einstein did. That's the level we're talking about.
So not just like automating tasks. We're talking AI that could make like groundbreaking scientific discoveries.
Exactly. And Schmidt makes a point of saying that AGI doesn't have to be perfect.
Okay.
Even humans learn from making mistakes, and AGI would too. It's all part of the process.
Okay, so when are we going to see this in action?
Yeah.
I mean, are we talking decades away? Is it closer than we think?
There's some speculation that by 2030, we could have AI systems that are like rivals to the world's top scientists.
Wow.
But Schmidt really says the real indicator of AGI will be its ability to generate new knowledge going beyond anything that humans have discovered.
So
it won't just be processing information. It will be creating its own.
So not just a super-powered search engine, but an AI that's actually pushing the boundaries of knowledge itself.
Right. He calls this new level of AI scale-free systems.
Okay.
Imagine like a tree growing from a seed. It needs sunlight and water, but the blueprint for growth is already there.
Yeah.
A scale-free AGI could start with some basic programming and then use that to kind of explore and learn.
Okay.
Generating its own like sunlight and water.
Interesting.
In the form of new knowledge.
So that's a pretty wild concept. Are there any signs that we're even on the path to this kind of AGI?
There are definitely some hints. I mean, Schmidt points to some really exciting things happening in fields like physics and math.
Yeah.
Imagine AGI working with physicists, like sifting through mountains of data to finally crack the code of dark matter.
Wow.
Like that's the kind of impact we're talking about.
That would be incredible. But what about the economic side of things?
Yeah.
Could AGI actually change how we understand and manage like the entire global economy?
Absolutely. We're talking about AI that could analyze massive amounts of economic data way beyond what humans can handle.
Right.
That could lead to incredibly accurate economic models.
Wow.
Which could totally change the game for market predictions and policy decisions. We might even see a boost in economic stability and growth.
And I've heard venture capitalist Vinod Khosla predict that AI could achieve AGI in just 5 to 7 years.
Yeah.
With the potential to perform like 80% of the work that has economic value.
That's right. 80%.
Yeah.
That number really makes you think, what does a world like that even look like?
Yeah, it's hard to imagine.
Yeah, it really is hard to wrap your head around it.
So if AGI could automate so much of our work, what does that even mean for us humans? Are we all just becoming obsolete?
Not at all. Schmidt actually emphasizes that human critical thinking will be even more crucial than ever in the age of AGI.
So we're not just handing the reins over to the machines.
Right.
We still have like a big role to play.
Absolutely. We need to be able to analyze and evaluate, make sense of all this information that AGI is going to provide.
Right.
It's about humans and AI working together.
So it's like we need to be the conductors.
Yeah.
Guiding the orchestra of AI.
Yeah, I like that.
But are there still downsides? Oh, of course.
We need to be wary of...
Like any powerful tool, AGI could be misused.
Right.
So responsible development and careful planning are going to be really key.
Okay, so let's get back to this new Renaissance idea.
Okay.
Are other experts buying into Schmidt's vision?
It's interesting. Even Jan LeCun, Meta's chief AI scientist, he tends to be a little more cautious about AGI hype.
Right.
But he sees some parallels between AI's potential impact and the invention of the printing press.
I remember learning about the printing press back in school.
Yeah.
That completely changed the way that knowledge and ideas could spread.
Right.
So is LeCun saying AI could be just as transformative?
That's what he's suggesting. Both technologies have this power to democratize access to information and drive these huge shifts in society.
But could AI be even more transformative than the printing press?
Well, think about it this way. The printing press allowed us to share existing knowledge more easily.
But AGI wouldn't just be spreading information. It could be creating entirely new knowledge.
Right.
Discovering things we haven't even imagined yet.
That's starting to sound a little bit like science fiction.
Yeah.
But if we entertain this idea, this possibility of a new renaissance sparked by AGI, what would that even mean for us as individuals? How do we even prepare for a world like that?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's something we all need to be thinking about as these technologies continue to develop.
This isn't just some abstract, futuristic concept anymore.
Right.
AI is evolving so fast, it feels like we're on the edge of something truly groundbreaking.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to engage with these ideas and to educate ourselves about AGI and its potential impact on our lives.
So it's not about fearing it or trying to stop its progress.
Not necessarily. It's about understanding both the potential benefits and challenges and working together to shape its development in a way that aligns with our values and goals as a society.
It sounds like we need to be having some pretty serious conversations
Yeah.
about the ethical implications of AGI.
Absolutely. We need to be thinking about things like transparency and accountability in AI systems and how we can ensure these technologies are used responsibly.
Right.
And for the benefit of all.
And who should be leading these conversations? Is it just like the tech companies and the developers?
It's bigger than that. This needs to be a societal conversation.
Okay.
Involving everyone, policymakers, researchers, ethicists, everyday citizens.
Wow.
We all have a stake in this future.
So it's a collective responsibility to make sure that AGI is used for good.
Exactly. It's about harnessing the incredible power of this technology while also mitigating the risks.
Right.
We need to work together to make sure that AGI benefits all of humanity.
You know, it's interesting you mentioned the Renaissance earlier.
Yeah.
And that was a time of like incredible advancement in art, science, and culture.
It was.
But it was also a period of major social and political upheaval. Are we headed for a similar kind of transformation with AGI?
It's certainly possible. AGI has the potential to disrupt industries.
Yeah.
Change the way we work, even challenge our understanding of what it means to be human.
Wow.
But it also has the potential to unlock solutions to some of the world's biggest problems.
Are we talking about like curing diseases, developing sustainable energy, maybe even solving world hunger?
Those are exactly the kinds of possibilities we're talking about.
It's incredible.
But it's up to us to guide the development and application of AGI in a way that leads to a better future for everyone.
So we're not just passive bystanders in this technological revolution.
Right.
We have agency, we have a voice.
Absolutely. We need to be informed, engaged, and proactive in shaping the future of AGI.
That's a call to action I can get behind.
Yeah.
But let's be realistic for a second. This is some pretty complex stuff. How can the average person even begin to wrap their head around AGI and its implications?
It can definitely feel overwhelming, but there's so many resources out there to help. Books, articles, podcasts like this one.
Right.
They can all offer valuable insights and different perspectives on AGI.
It's not just about understanding the technical side of things, right? We also need to be thinking about the philosophical and ethical questions surrounding AGI.
Absolutely. What are the values we want to embed in these systems? How do we ensure fairness? These are questions we need to be grappling with as a society.
It almost feels like AGI is forcing us to like re-examine our own values and priorities as a species.
In a way, yes. It's like holding up a mirror to humanity.
Yeah.
Reflecting back both our incredible capabilities and our potential flaws.
So in the midst of all this talk about technological advancement, we're also being called to evolve as humans.
That's a great way to put it. AGI isn't just about creating smarter machines.
Right.
It's about creating a smarter, more compassionate, and more responsible future for all of us.
It sounds like we're standing on the precipice of something truly transformative.
Yeah.
And while there are challenges ahead, there's also this incredible potential for positive change.
I agree. It's an exciting time to be alive, even with all the uncertainty.
Yeah.
We have a real opportunity to shape the future in a way that benefits all of humanity.
That's a really powerful message of hope.
Yeah.
But it also comes with a pretty big dose of responsibility.
That's true. We can't afford to just sit back and wait for the future to unfold.
Right.
We need to be active participants in creating it.
So if we're really embracing this idea of A new renaissance sparked by AGI,
Mm.
a period of growth and enlightenment. What are the key ingredients we need to make that happen?
Well, I think education is absolutely paramount.
Okay.
We need to equip people with the knowledge and critical thinking skills to navigate this rapidly evolving landscape.
So investing in STEM education, but also in the humanities and social sciences.
Exactly. We need a well-rounded approach that fosters creativity, critical thinking, and ethical awareness.
It sounds like we need to nurture a generation of what we might call Renaissance thinkers.
Yeah.
Individuals who are adaptable, innovative, and committed to using their knowledge for good.
I could have said it better myself. We need individuals who are curious, open-minded, and willing to embrace the unknown.
So it's not just about technical skills, it's about cultivating a certain mindset.
Right.
A way of approaching the world with a sense of wonder and a thirst for knowledge.
Precisely. We need people who are lifelong learners, always seeking out new information and challenging their own assumptions.
Because in a world where AGI is rapidly advancing, the ability to learn and adapt is going to be more valuable than ever before.
Absolutely. The future belongs to those who can embrace change and turn uncertainty into opportunity.
So if we want to thrive in this new era, we can't just be passive consumers of information.
Right.
We need to be active creators, critical thinkers, and lifelong learners.
That's a great takeaway. We need to approach the future of AGI with both a sense of wonder and a sense of responsibility.
It's a delicate balance, but an essential one if we want to create a future where AGI truly enhances our lives.
Yeah.
And helps us reach our full potential as a species.
Well said, and I think that gets to the heart of what Schmidt is trying to say in this article.
Yeah.
He's not just predicting a technological revolution. He's calling for a human one.
A revolution in how we learn and how we interact with technology and each other.
Exactly. He's suggesting that AGI has the potential to be this catalyst for incredible human progress.
Right.
But only if we rise to the occasion and embrace the challenges and opportunities it presents.
So it's not just about AGI becoming more human-like. It's about us becoming more human.
More compassionate, more creative, more connected, and more committed to building a better future for all.
Now, that's a vision I can get behind. But before we get carried away with all the utopian possibilities, we do need to acknowledge the potential downsides.
We do.
There are risks and challenges we can't ignore when it comes to a technology as powerful as AGI. So let's talk about those potential downsides. What are some things we need to be, cautious about when it comes to AGI?
Well, we already touched on the potential for job displacement. As AI systems become more and more capable, they could automate, a lot of jobs, which could lead to economic shifts and challenges for workers.
Yeah, that 80% figure we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
It's pretty startling. It really makes you wonder how the job market will adapt.
Yeah, it's definitely a valid concern. And it's not just, blue-collar jobs that might be affected.
Right.
White-collar jobs that involve, a lot of routine tasks or data analysis could also be vulnerable.
So what can we do to prepare for these changes?
I think we need to start thinking about how we can train and retrain people.
Yeah.
For the jobs of the future, focus on skills that complement AI rather than trying to compete with it. We might even need to rethink our entire economic model.
That sounds like a massive societal shift.
It could be, but history shows us that humans are remarkably adaptable. Right? Think about the Industrial Revolution.
Yeah.
It brought massive changes, but we found ways to adjust.
Yeah.
We need to approach this with a similar spirit of innovation and resilience.
So it's about embracing the potential of AGI while also being mindful of the, potential pitfalls.
Exactly. It's about finding that balance, and that's why this conversation is so important.
Yeah.
We need to be proactive in shaping the future we want to see.
And it sounds like that future, if Schmidt and others are right, could be something truly extraordinary.
It could.
A new renaissance, a period of unparalleled discovery and progress. It's a pretty exciting thought.
It is exciting.
Yeah.
But it's also a bit daunting.
Yeah.
We're talking about technologies that could fundamentally reshape our world, and it's up to us to steer them in the right direction.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I'm left with a mix of awe and, I'll admit, a bit of apprehension.
I think that's a natural reaction.
Yeah.
The future is always uncertain, and with AGI, the stakes feel even higher.
But ultimately, I'm optimistic. I believe that, we as humans have the capacity to navigate these challenges and harness the power of AGI for good.
I agree. We have a responsibility to future generations to get this right.
Well said, and I think that's a perfect note to end on. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AGI and the potential for a new renaissance.
It's been a pleasure.
And to all of you listening, we hope this has sparked your curiosity and given you some food for thought as AI continues to evolve. We encourage you to stay informed, stay engaged, and most importantly, stay curious. Who knows what incredible discoveries and advancements lie ahead? Until next time, keep exploring.